things off by saying, hey, I probably think you all know that the content on the channel has changed a little bit, and respectively it has. Uh, Seeing as how interest in snakes, snake feedings, and all other stuff kind of went on the downslope due to either trends, popularity, or because people were starting to, get a little soft and get a little upset about it. That's not just what's been happening to me. It's been happening to just pretty much anybody that's got a snake channel, whether they're small operation, small time hobbyists and breeders and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to be in a niche little industry hobby where you've kind of got like other people that have been in it for 20, 30, 40 years. So they've kind of got the base, they've got the popularity, and they've also got the clout in which they can say as they please but not do as they say so much. But yeah, some of my content has changed a little bit in the shorts. Definitely getting a little bit firearm oriented because as a guy that used to serve in the United States Army infantry, uh, my experience with firearms, especially ones that get confused with the civilian counterparts a lot. Uh, I know the difference between most of the firearms that people get all uppity about. Uh, Me and thousands of others for the last 20, well, for a really long time since the advent of automatic weapons, infantrymen have been a little bit more skilled than, say, their civilian counterparts because they are constantly drilled and educated on the manual of arms and all sorts of other stuff. So we know about ballistics, we know about firing rates, we know about the mechanics of our weaponry and stuff like that. So I kind of found it was like a little niche way of to insert my way into the stuff because there's a lot of things trending on the shorts that sometimes I throw my own little comment, my own two cents in, just kind of correct it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's getting me views and everything. This has definitely got me out of my slump, so I'm working on a little bit more creative stuff. But as far as things go with the actual snakes and everything, my little breeding project, this is going to be Meis Morphs' last season. We are officially taking a break because with the economy the way it is, most snake breeders, especially small time operators, are not making nowhere near the amount of money or the full return because there's just not a lot of money going around that people can spend willy nilly on things. So sometimes the animals that are being produced in the snake hobby are coming down in price a little bit, especially snake morphologies that were really, really popular and were really, really rare and really, really expensive. And now that they've become a little bit more commonplace, their prices have drastically dropped down like a new vehicle off a dealership lot. But uh, in light of that, this is an opportunity to work on our husbandry and also work on our branding and marketing. Uh, I want to be able to at least go to a couple of the shows here in Hampton Roads because there's a couple nearby. There's the one in Yorktown that happens only once a year, so I want to be able to at least make that one. But here, let me show you what our newest project started off being the biggest surprise for year two of breeding, and that was the litter of boas that we had from our pairing of Athena and Icaros. Now, Athena was purchased by me from Conley Herps off of Craigslist as a female possible jungle het superstripe. Now, I know I couldn't prove out her het superstripe because I would have had to need another snake, a male, that either carried the gene confirmed or was a visual representation of the superstripe. That way, 50-50 chances could have been, if I had gone that route, that I would have gotten super stripes and therefore she would be proven het super stripe. But because because I didn't have anything like that, or couldn't find anybody else working with it, I paired her with Icaros, who was our Roswell Laddertail. Well, it's been about a week since the litter was officially dropped. We had 11 good babies. They're still alive and kicking, and they're shedding now. Half of them are already shed out. And we ended up having like 10 or 12 slugs and 3 stillborns. Not bad, but not great. But for a first-time mom, when dealing with live bearing snakes, especially boas, I already knew that there was going to be like some possible consequences for doing anything like that, because there's always a risk with live birth, and even more so with boas than with the ball pythons that lay eggs. But when the litter was a couple days old and I was putting them in the incubator, that way they can hydrate and get their first sheds on, I noticed that their patterns were not like their parents. So I ended up calling a guy by the name of Washington from Boa DNA in Williamsburg. Had him come down and look over the clutch. And to my surprise, not only do we have some proven jungle babies, but we also got the ladder tails that are expressed, but we also got Key Wests and Key West Roswell ladder tails. And here's the real kicker. One of the babies is a visual hypo. And I'm like, wait a sec. Both parents don't have any hypo in them that I know of. But it's there. And with the Key West presenting, that means Icaros is not just a Roswell laddertail. He is a Key West Roswell laddertail. So I'll shut up here for a moment and I will open up these tubs, because I've got some of them separated out from the ones that have shed and ones that haven't. Here we go, a little bit more light. And as you can see, wow. This is just the first bucket full of them. Some of them have got some nice little spears on their heads already. But as you can see, there's definitely some of the Key West laddertail in there. I know some of them are all jumbled up, huddling underneath each other. But, yeah. But they're doing really well. They're very active. I've noticed that some of them have taken little urate poops. So here in the next couple of days or so, I'll probably be offering them their first meal of frozen thawed hopper mice. Because these guys here won't be able to eat rats, especially like rat pups or weans, until they're about a little over a year old, because something about the milk that is produced by the female rats that they end up suckling on before they start eating actual food does not sit well with the digestive tracts of boas, and in some cases it causes them regurgitation, and that's not always a good thing, because when snakes regurgitate, it'll be about almost 2 weeks before they can eat again, because the stomach acids are so harsh on their esophagus. Oh man, I thought when the first clutch of ball pythons from Manoa were unique. When I did the pairing of the hypo Coco Pelli with her, and we got those ball pythons that were full of ringers and stuff like that. But these guys, as a first time attempt at breeding boas, I couldn't be happier with these results. I really couldn't. I mean, I've got new gray hairs on the side of my head, having done all this stuff, with the boas, but at least I'm earning my stripes, so to speak. Yeah. Saoirse should be getting ready to eat soon. I probably got to give her another soak because she's still being a little finicky little lady after her first surprise clutch. She really surprised me because I didn't even think she was gravid at all, but she gave me 5. And down here, got Big Mama Noah. Yeah, this'll be her second clutch. Hopefully soon. She had an ovulation, and then a couple days later, she had her post-ovulation shed. Right now, she's like a ticking time bomb for waiting to pop. I'm not sure what's up with Psyche, though. I mean, she's heavy, but she doesn't look nowhere near as big. I wonder if she's gonna pull out what Saoirse did. That surprised me what clutch I didn't expect. Yeah, our big old retiree Phantasma, she's been eating and happy. She's had a couple meals already. The boys, on the other hand, they're just being stubborn. Cocopelli's out of shed. Yeah, Biju's up and awake. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, Phobos, he's already looking like he's primed. Yeah. Well, it's definitely been a decent. Oh, oops. It's definitely been a unique month and a half or so. But yeah. We've got until on the board. Saoirse's clutch will be due on July 10th, possibly. Give or take 2 or 3 days, possible. If the temperatures stay the way they are now, I could probably get them early, maybe on day 56, 58. Don't got a due date on Manoa's clutch yet because she hasn't dropped him yet, but I wish she would. But I got the birth date for the boa clutch. They were laid on May 20th. So here it is, 29th. They are now officially 9 days old and still rocking. Oh man, it's gonna be great that I'm gonna get to try feeding those ones frozen thawed right off the bat. Because I still got some like black fuzzy mice that I ordered in bulk from Rodent Pro a while back, and now that the ball python babies I still have are on adult mice, and should be switching over to maybe rat pups now. Now that I'm officially getting better at the rat breeding part, because now rather than some of the pinkies getting gobbled up by mommy and daddy, uh, some of them are finally getting the hint. It's like, oh, I need to take care of these, and they're surviving longer. And I've got a whole bunch of little fuzzy blind rats running around in their little breeding tubs. But I'm looking to get more things set up here. Uh, I know I need another VE6 because with the 11 boas getting ready to move on into them, I'm short on tubs, so I need another rack. My other VE6 has the other babies from last year and my clowns, and the spare one, which has been mostly been empty so far, is going to have 11 of the boas and the 5 soon to be babies coming out of Saoirse's clutch whenever they start pipping out. So if Manoa drops an even larger clutch than she did last time, I'm going to need another level of tub, so that means you need another VE6. And that also means I need another thermostat to regulate it. Yay. And more tubs. Definitely more tubs. But, whew boy. And also, now to switch gears a little bit, the reason why I'm going into firearms is because, one, I have an avid respect. Sometimes I even like to collect them. The collection portions sometimes go towards more of the, if they're affordable, if I can find affordable ones, or if not, I'll have them laid away. I like the service rifles. I like the old battle rifles from old, like 1903, 1914 pattern, 1917s. Uh, as you can see, I also got a #1 Mark III Star Lee Enfield. I've also got an older Remington 721 hunting rifle and 30-06. I like metal and wood a lot. Something about those older weapons has a little bit of a nostalgia thing for me, and maybe, just hopefully, maybe for around line, I could get a couple other ones. I wouldn't mind having an Eddie Stone 1917. I would like to get a hold of maybe another M1 Grand. I had one in the past, but sold it. And I hit myself upside the head for it because, one, it was freaking a World War II one with proven history and came with a freaking ammo box chock full of full M block clips. And I was like, ugh. Thinking about it just makes me upset. But hopefully I can get one of those again. And maybe, just maybe, if I'm really, really, really lucky, maybe a Craig Jorgensen. I mean, if Eleanor was the unicorn in Gone in 60 Seconds, a Craig Jorgensen would be my Eleanor, my unicorn. But speaking as of being a combat vet, I don't make mention of it much, but my last year of service was in 2006. After about 4 years active, 1 year stop lost, total 5 years, and 2 tours, I had pretty much burnt out. I was literally tired. Did not want to constantly be freaking on deployment over and over again. And that's just my opinion. I mean, a lot of guys got burnt out after the first one, but the second one officially did it for me, and that's why I finally got out of the Army back then. That and the command climate was changing to the point where we just had guys that would not hesitate at all to fuck over the morale or the integrity of the junior enlisted ranks, because in misguided senses of patriotism or tactics and everything, we had some guys that were pretty much freaking shitbags that would pretty much murder you if they could do it, but they would rather the enemy do it. That way they would be hands clean. And we also had too many officers that would want to be flag officers at the expense of casualties being made. Yeah. But even though I've been out for about 20 odd years, I have not physically changed much. A lot of the guys that I've served with have. They've gone a lot bolder than I have, a lot fatter than I have, but I'm still the same physical shape despite the issues with my knees, my neck, and my arms due to my cervical impingements and the narrowing in my spinal column due to the impingements and osteophytes, which are like bone spurs here and there. So I'm operating on a half numb, constantly in pain status, but the pain kind of lets me know that I'm still around, moving, and that I've got something to do. And my biggest to do is taking care of my wife and kid, which means all those old skills as an infantryman are coming into play often, and I've decided not to let those skills diminish, meaning uh, pretty much not letting all the firearm training and other tactics go to waste. There's no point in letting a knife go dull. It's kind of stupid and it's dangerous. Also, considering how times are these days, because one, I do have a wife that is disabled and has multiple autoimmune issues, and I do have a daughter that I would prefer to keep safe from the constant changing dynamics of the world, especially in a world that's becoming so unfair to women, especially biological women, that my daughter would risk getting attacked just being for that by perverts, sickos, and guys pretending to be women to do stuff that, as men, they were on a low end par of. But yeah, so yeah, so I've bought my fair share of weaponry. Got a shotgun, got an AR, got a primary sidearm, and I've got my everyday carry, which acts as a backup. Do I've got ammunition? Hell yeah, I've got ammunition. Enough to blow at the range, maybe a couple times over. But I'm very sagacious with my ammo, so I don't blow it all in one freaking swoop, and I have plenty here at the house just in case of like breaking in and entering, freaking violent felons and all that stuff, rapist, whatever. I've got enough here to fend off a small engagement of even armed intruders. But yeah. But I figured while I'm talking on gun stuff, I at least try to educate people on some things. It's like I know some people might not will go out on a limb and say, "Oh, well, you're not an expert. You don't manufacture guns. You don't know anything about guns." Like, well, like I said, infantrymen know a lot more about guns and how to use them and when to use them and where to use them than the average civilian populace. I mean, freaking, we have the weaponry which freaking everybody else is decrying as freaking being weapons of war because technically, yeah, they are weapons of war. They do have the capable functions of that the civilian counterparts do not have. And that's where things kind of get confused because the civilian counterparts don't have certain parts or functions that we in the military or in law enforcement do. So this is a point where freaking politicians need to shut the hell up, and the ATF actually needs to learn about the freaking weaponry that they're espousing is bad, rather than just make shit up, which is what they are constantly doing. But yeah, it's gonna be snakes and guns on the channel. If anything, I should just call myself Mr. Gadsden, because freaking don't tread on me. But I figured I'd let you guys know how things are going and how things are changing. Change is good. Change is great. Are there some positives and negatives to it? Yeah, constantly, always. But as long as I maintain a positive image about things, then things will go great. But I appreciate you guys letting me show you what's going on, how things are changing, and if you guys still keep wanting to view stuff, there's all the old videos, all the old shorts, even a couple of these lives you can look over. And if you want to ask me something, go ahead, ask me something. I won't hold back. But this is Robert from Meis Morphs saying, have a good day, enjoy your summer, and stay safe and enjoy snakes.